Love yours. Ugliness and a success. Hear my words and listen to my signal of distress. I grew up in the city and know sometimes we had less. Compared to some of my niggas down the block, man, we were blessed. That life can't be no fairy tale, no once upon a time. But I be goddamn if a nigga don't be trying. So tell me, mama, please, why you be drinking all the time? Cause all the pain it brought you still linger in your mind. Cause pain still lingers on mine. On the road to riches, listen, this is what you'll find. The good news is, nigga, you came a long way. The bad news is, nigga, you went the wrong way. The being broke is better, like that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Think being broke is better, like that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. For what's money without happiness? Or hard times without the people you love? Though I'm not sure what's about to happen next. Ask for strength from the Lord above, cause I've been strong so far, but I can feel my grip loosening. Quick, do something before you lose it for good. Get it back and use it for good, and touch the people how you did like before. I'm tired of living with demons cause they always inviting more. Think being broke was better. Now I don't mean that phrase with no disrespect to all my niggas out there living in debt, cash and minimal checks. Turn on the TV, see a nigga Rolex, and fantasize about a life with no stress. I mean this shit sincerely. And as a nigga who was once in your shoes, living with nothing to lose, I hope one day you hear me. Always gonna be a bigger house somewhere, but nigga feel me. Long as the people in that motherfucker love you dearly. Always gonna be a whip that's better than the one you got. Always gonna be some clothes that's fresher than the ones you rock. Always gonna be a bitch that's better out there on the tour. But you ain't never gonna be happy till you love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours.
Yo, welcome back. Well, welcome. Well, how long has it been? Hold on. I just realized that it's shocking me right now. Welcome back to not just another show, just a show that's been on pause for a very, 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 very long time. I'm to whose blame, but now we back and better than ever. Well, as far as us, we're back and better than ever. Not so much for the Raiders right now, but of course.
Oh, God.
Nation podcast. We are back. You know, I'm one of your hosts, man. You see me, I have no glasses on. You wonder why I have no glasses on? Because I'm pretty pissed off about another season. And, you know, it's a little bit early, but we'll talk about it. Of course, I'm one of your hosts, man. The SC Raiders Talk, aka boy Eric, you know, or SC. And my co-host, man, you know him, you love him. Twuan, also known as Raider Twuan in the building. What's good, Twuan?
Let me try to stop laughing. All right. Hey, look. Hey, y'all know what it is. Two brothers for one nation. I've been waiting to say that for a minute. Two brothers for one nation. And y'all know it's the Raider Nation. Blessings to everybody out there. Let me give y'all a brown cracker salute. But I don't know if the brown crackers is going to flow on this live today.
Yeah, man. 1-3. I can't say anything more than just 1-3. The Raiders fall short to the Chicago Bears. Blocked field goal. That's great. That's great. 3 interceptions, and as you can see, the popcorn is out for the episode back because we've seen this same movie over and 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 over. And you know, when things look so good, right, for weeks, and we'll talk about it, but for weeks we've been talking about this offensive line. We've been talking about so many things, and the offensive line actually played good. And Ashton Genty, what a running back. Everybody was already calling him a flop and stuff like that. Obviously, I said the offensive line would be the reason why he won't succeed. And look it, the offensive line did good. And what did he do? He had one of the best performances of the week from an offensive player. 3 tutties, over 100 yards. Plus, on top of that, we had over 250 yards rushing, I believe, if I have my stats right. To have that, and to have a quarterback that threw 3 interceptions, yo, I can't even put it in words. Oh, 240 yards rushing, by the way. My bad. Just to give you the exact stat. 240 yards combined. 138 yards from Genty. 1 touchdown by Genty and 2 receiving, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Man, talk to me, Twuan. How you feeling, man? You feel me? I think we should just get straight into it, man. You already see me talking. I think we need to talk about this at this point.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, us, and I'm just gonna say this as content creators. It's tough when you have to come back every week and be like, here we go again. You know, it really sucks, but here we are trying to explain it and do the best we can for you. It's interesting to look at this team because, like you said, the past 3 weeks prior to this last game, it seemed like nothing was going right on the offensive side of the ball, and for us to be in a position in this last game where almost everything was working right, but our quarterback. You know, and I said this, and you can take, and this is where you can take it on both sides of the fence. It depends on what perspective you want to take it on. You know what I'm saying? However you want to flip it, right? We threw 3 interceptions, and we fumbled. We had 4 turnovers. Because that fumble, we didn't recover it. That was given to them in short field, by the way, and still came up at the end with a chance to win the game. So that shows you that first of all, that shows you how bad we are, but that also shows how bad the Bears are. That we literally gave them the game. And we still had a chance.
1 point. 1 point. 1 point was the difference between both teams, and we had 4 turnovers, by the way. They only had 1 turnover, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So for them to have 1 turnover and we had 4 turnovers and lose by 1 point. Yo, I could only laugh, Twuan. I don't even feel like saying anything. Like, this is just bad. Like, the fact that all 3 interceptions, which I'm not blaming Jakobi Meyers at all, but all 3 interceptions were targets at, I believe, Jakobi Meyers. Every single throw was to Jakobi Meyers when it was an interception, and he was guarded pretty damn double coverage, triple coverage at times, and it just shows that you know, it kind of shows that Geno Smith. I mean, we knew what Geno Smith was, and I knew what Geno Smith was, and at the end of the day, the guy was an accurate quarterback for quite some time, and I don't know what's happening to him, to be honest. I couldn't even, you know, a lot of people are going to come out here and obviously say they know, but nobody really knows. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Geno Smith, this is the Geno Smith that, I mean, 3 interceptions alone to the same guy over again. A competent veteran quarterback, Geno Smith, usually wouldn't target the same guy that's getting covered over and over again, and he just did it. Maybe it's a little bit of, you know, people could say scheme. People could say maybe the receiver, ran the wrong route, or people may say he's just shaking up. But at the end of the day, man, I just think that it's a bigger problem. I think majority of it could be from the offensive line doing so bad in the first couple weeks, and it ended up, kind of messing up the momentum. But even then, it's not even an excuse, because as a quarterback and a veteran quarterback, you got to be able to, shake it off and get right. So this game is for sure on Geno. I think for me, if you were to tell me what's one player that cost us the game, is Geno Smith. I don't even think the coaching was bad, in my opinion. Dante Thornton had no targets, by the way, just another thing on top of that. And I think Trey Tucker, let me see, he had 2 receptions and he only had 2 targets. Dante Thornton actually did have targets. He had 2, but neither of them were caught. So shout out to everybody coming on in. Let me shout out everybody before I forget.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shout out to All Eyes on G. What's good? Raider Paul was good. Raiders. Shout out to Paul in the building. Daniel Berry was good. Up for review. What's the word, man? With both the I hope all as well. SoCal Sal. Salute. Raider Paul 11-6. Let's go. Shout out to Dark. Salute Eric. Same old Raiders. Where do we start, man? We start with everything. Oh yeah, he did drop that pass in the end. I will say that he did drop that pass. You just reminded me of that pass. Shout out to Raider Paul in the building. Just shows they need a number 1 wide receiver, and Bowers being hurt doesn't help. And Bowers, I mean, even with that, it's like you kind of just keep at that point running the ball. Our rushing game was excellent, man. I think that Ashton Jeanty did his thing. I think, a lot of people are saying his stance had a lot to do with it. And it's the same stance he had in Boise State, the Michael Myers, stuff like that. I do think it has something to do with it. People may say, oh, it's just the stance, but at the end of the day, you got to realize, when you're so used to doing something, and this is not only in football, when you're so used to doing something a certain way, you get accustomed to it, and then when you switch over to another different, path, you mess up, because obviously you're so used to that one thing that when you go to another thing, it's just bad. So that's what it was. I think that stance has a lot to do with it. I think that he needs to keep that stance, in my opinion. I think the offensive line did a great job. I don't know what they did this week in practice, but they did a great job. And people may say, oh, the Bears don't got that good of a pass rush. But at the end of the day, I mean, you can only play what's ahead of you, right? And even then, they have a pretty good, I mean, if you really look at it, they have a pretty decent defense. I mean, yeah, just by looking at it. But go ahead.
I'm past the whole picking on Jeanty and his stance. We got a whole bunch of other issues to be worried about. Ashton Jeanty, who's actually really producing for our team. Let's not worry about Ashton Jeanty's stance, but let's worry about Meredith high snapping the ball and blocking people that ain't even supposed to be blocked, leaving people wide open, people right in front of him that he ain't even blocking. Let's focus more on that than where Jeanty stands. That's what's frustrating me about this situation. Nobody's talking about the center that everybody's saying, oh, he's the guy. That's the guy that we want on this team. How many high snaps and low snaps is Geno gonna get? Now, I understand that Geno's picking the ball, throwing the interceptions and stuff like that. I know that. I see that. I'm watching film and tape like some of you guys are too. But to start off with a bad snap is not helping his progression either. That's supposed to be the least thing that he's supposed to worry about is the ball coming to him. That was the snap part situation. It should be so routine that it's just like, oh, me drinking water. And that's not the case. Geno has to sit back there, call the play, and then guess, okay, where's the ball going to come out? Before he's able to even look at the field and see what's going on. So, for miss me with the whole, oh, Jeanty needs to crouch down and be in position. No. Just let Jeanty do what he's doing. Because obviously him doing what he did got us 138 yards running and 17 receiving with 2 touchdowns receiving and 1 touchdown rushing. So I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
I will say I've been criticizing Jackson Powers Johnson at guard, and he did a heck of a job. Didn't allow single pressure. I mean, he did a heck of a job. hey, that's all props to what they did this week and stuff like that. With Geno Smith, I knew what type of quarterback he was. At the end of the day, he was a top 10 quarterback at a certain time. And it was usually with Pete Carroll, if I'm not mistaken. The guy is one of those guys that when he gets on a hot streak, he gets on a hot streak, and when he gets on a weak streak, he gets on a weak streak. And right now, he's on a weak ass streak. Same thing as all I said here, right? It's something that it is what it is. That's the reality of things, right? Sometimes we want to be optimistic, and I wanted to be optimistic with this season. With all these different acquisitions and stuff, we really looked like a good team again on paper, just like we do every single season. We start looking at things on paper, and we're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be. But at the end of the day, as time progresses, as the weeks go by, you kind of see more of the identity of a team. And right now, the identity of a team was a team that the first 4 weeks, pretty much, you've seen a lot of struggles. You've seen a lot of confusion. You've seen a lot of missed tackles, missed plays, missed blocks, missed zone reads, missed practically no vision, bad snaps, and it's a bunch of things that should have been cleaned up in the preseason, but it wasn't. And obviously, moving forward now, it's just something that we just have to look at and hope for the best. Literally hope for the best. I hope that they could turn it around. I mean, we all hope, right? We hope every season. We hope every every week. Obviously, they play the Colts, which the Colts are just coming off of a loss themselves. That, to be honest, if you look at that game, they should have never lost that game if it wasn't for the guy. I forgot his name. He ended up fumbling at the end zone right before the end zone. He got a little too antsy. Adonai Mitchell, my bad. And shout out to Cool Kev. Shout out to Cool Kev in the building. Was good. So obviously the Colts are coming off a loss, but they're still a 3-1 team. And we'll talk about the Colts right now, but we're gonna still talk about the Bears. It's a game we shouldn't have lost, and we shouldn't have lost the past 3 games, to be honest. It's just us, just like always messing up, and I hate it. And we know we all hate it, but we just have to write it out, man. I don't know about you, Twuan, but it's just something that I always say this, and it's such a cop-out answer for me, but at the end of the day, it's the reality of things. It is what it is. Like, for me, it's just like, it is what it is.
Eric, it's frustrating because I said I forgot if it was a video or live, because I'm cranking out a whole bunch of stuff throughout the week. If you're missing it out on my channel, definitely come over to Raider Twuan anyway. But we're up to this point, we haven't had a team truly beat us. We've literally beat ourselves every game. There wasn't a team where I was like, hey, that team, hey, we did what we could do, and they just beat us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still have not said that yet. Yes, we've lost. Yes, record-wise, yeah, they beat us record-wise. But when you look at the way that we played, we've been beating ourselves, and that's why we've been losing games. 3 interceptions here, 3 interceptions here, 3 interceptions and a fumble there. What do you think's going to happen? We've been beating ourselves. Our offensive line hasn't been blocking in totality. Our defense, one game felt like they didn't know how to tackle. I think that was against the Commanders. For some reason, they forgot, in the 2K, the packages, they forgot the tackle package. Everybody forgot how to tackle. So we're beating ourselves. Yeah. And I'm still waiting. I've been trying to read this team out, right? We had the Patriots, not a playoff team. We beat them. Okay. We're beating the non-playoff teams. Okay. Chargers. Okay. That's a playoff team. We lost. We should have won, but that's a playoff team. Okay. Commanders. That's a playoff team. Okay. I can kind of take the loss, right? It's a playoff team. Realizing where we are. But losing against the Bears, that really shows you where we are. That's not a fluke, you guys. It's not a fluke. So
I mean, It's the same thing that was said in Pete Carroll's press conference. If you watched it, he practically said you can't expect to turn the ball over like that and win. He literally said it, and you can't. For me, 100%. Obviously, like I said, the past couple of weeks, obviously you mess up a quarterback's progression and a quarterback's hot streak by not blocking and him getting sacked every 2 seconds. It's obvious. But this game is just a game of, like, as a veteran, you should just know if something ain't working, stop trying it. And he kept targeting Jacoby Myers again, interception, again, interception, and then again, interception. And I don't really, I was rewatching the game a couple times, and I was trying to see, is there a mess up on the route? Is it just vision? Did the offensive line not give him time? And most of the time, and if not all 3 times, it was obvious that he was covered. All 3 times. And it's just something that is just a quarterback's vision at that point. And as far as the rest of the team, I don't really got anybody else to blame. I mean, we could sit here and blame at the end the special teams and maybe them not holding up, but I can't even blame them. As far as the Chicago Bears, and let me make this clear, as far as the Chicago Bears versus the Las Vegas Raiders game, I blame Geno for it. Besides that, the past few games, I could talk about the offensive line because that's been the offensive line, but it goes back to what Twuan said. We have been killing ourselves. We've been shooting ourselves in the foot constantly. And it's just a tale of get it together. Just get it together. If you look at the next few games, right? Let me actually pop up the schedule. You got the Colts obviously on Sunday. And then Tennessee Chiefs. Then you got the bye week. Then you got Jacksonville, Denver, Dallas, Browns, Chargers, Broncos, Eagles, Texans, Giants, Chiefs. Majority of those teams, as far as the Chargers, the Broncos, the Chiefs, obviously all 3 playoff teams. Regardless of what you want to see, they're all 3 playoff teams. The Cowboys, not so really. The Browns defense is really damn good. And the Eagles are obviously Super Bowl champions. And people are saying they might go back to back, whatever. The Giants, it's one game, but they may have found their quarterback in Jackson Dart. And then the Colts. The Colts are a 3-1 team. I know it's crazy to say, right? Everybody's like, the Colts are 3-1. Daniel Jones is looking like a goddamn top 10 quarterback right now. And he's not usually a top 10 quarterback. He's bottom 10. So obviously this kind of leads me to the next topic, right? That I think we're going to spend majority of the time talking about, which is what are we going to do moving forward, Twuan? What do you feel like we should be doing moving forward? And then obviously after that, we'll talk about the full-blown Colts game that comes up. So what do you think? This is my question to you. What do you think the Raiders need to do to move forward and start winning? And if you think there's not a chance they could get back to winning, what do you feel like?
They just got to do their job. And again, the Bears is not anything that we should be definitely putting offensively, putting a notch on our belt about. The Bears ain't that team. But if our offensive line can hold up for a little bit, if they can, open more gaps for Genty, and Geno don't be out there, acting like Oprah, giving gifts, giving up gifts every time there's a show, then we're all right. I that's why, I'm still optimistic about this team. As much as I may talk down about this team, I'm still optimistic about this team because I still have not yet seen this offense in totality do everything okay. I'm not saying that they got to be superstars, but can we just be okay? Can our offensive line just be okay? Can our quarterback play just be okay? Because our defense is for the most part holding it down. Weirdly, I was the opposite at the beginning of the season. I said this defense is gonna suck. Yeah. Our offense is gonna hold it together. It seems like our defense is holding it together and our offense is sucking.
The Bears had 3 yards in 2 drives, by the way. The first 2 drives, they had 3 yards on offense. If that'll show you the defense, I don't know.
Right. So if we have that and they just do the basic, then we'll be okay. But this mediocre, not blocking, you know what I'm saying? We're looking back at tape. Like I said, Meredith's going to the left while Billings is right in front of him as a nose tackle, and you're not blocking that. Like, you know, and I'm seeing even on this O-line, like we're going back and watching, like we got the O-line going in different directions. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, O-line, if they're blocking to the right, everybody pretty much is blocking to the right. You know what I'm saying? If it's a block to the right, there's times where, you know, 4 of them are blocking to the right and then the other guy's going to the left because that's where the hole's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? But there's guys where it's just like open fingers. Like what are we doing? You know, and so if they just could do the basics, that's what I'm asking. Just do the basics. Because I think we can still win games. We're top heavy. Our depth is not there. You know what I'm saying? That's why this Colton Miller, you know what I'm saying, injury is huge. Because, you know, if you don't know, you will know in regards to Stone Forsythe. Because we don't have any depth after our starters. And that's just facts. So they just gotta do what they gotta do. That's the best thing. That's the best thing I can say. There's really nothing that I can really say. Oh yeah, if we really get into this, or we really get into this kind of. Sometimes we can run the ball and it looks good. Sometimes we can pass the ball and it looks good. We don't. Let me pull out the popcorn again.
I'm not. And it goes back to what you said, right? I don't even need Geno Smith to play. I don't even need him to play like a top 1 quarterback. I don't need him to play 5 touchdowns, 0 to like. Just don't turn over the ball. Like, and I see right here. I believe it's JT, right? Jackson Dart trash. He didn't have a good game. The guy went 13 for 20 with the touchdown and no interceptions. I think that's a quarterback that did his job. Don't turn over the ball. Practically just play mediocre. I mean, he did fumble, I believe. I don't know if it got recovered though. I don't remember that. I have to double check on that. But besides that, he did just enough to win. I mean, he beat a Chargers team that beat us. I mean, at the end of the day, you just need a quarterback to do his job, and the job is to not really turn over the ball like that. I mean, I'm not even asking Geno Smith to do too much. So I hope Geno Smith gets it together. It's a drought. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the reality of it. It's a bad streak. And as far as the team's identity, we're 1-3. That's the identity. What there's nothing else to like.
Go ahead, Cook. I got something for there. Go.
Yeah,
go
like the identity is 1-3. I mean, there's not really anything to sugarcoat it. It's the 1-3 team. It's a team that has.
I'm gonna turn my screen off so you can cook. Go ahead and cook.
The identity is 1-3, and that's the majority of it. The offensive line has been messing up, effing up Geno, and now Geno Smith is pretty much messing up himself. So I will give some praise. You know, I want to put some positivity in there. Shout out to JPJ. Shout out to Ashton Genty. Shout out to the Raiders on the defensive side of the ball. Besides that, everything is just effed up. I'm not gonna lie.
Look at Eric being nice.
I mean, I'll be nice a little bit. You know, I got to spark a little positivity in there.
I'm not. But go ahead.
But 1-3. 1-3. That's the identity. We're 1-3. We're practically at the bottom, and that's what it is.
Okay, you done? You finished?
Hold on. Hey, he didn't do anything to win that game. The Chargers lost the game. Jackson just benefits for being the quarterback. Dude was below average. He made plays, but they won. They won't work next week. I mean, he beat the Chargers. I mean, you can't take that off of him. If Geno Smith went 1 touchdown interception, we would all be saying he did his job, wouldn't we? Like, I'm just saying, I'm not defending the Jackson Dart, but I'm just saying we just need a quarterback that's just gonna do the job, and that means win and not turn over the ball.
Geno won 1 game too.
He did win 1 game. Hey,
look.
He did win 1 game.
Look, I'm bringing out the popcorn. Why am I eating popcorn there? Please let the people know.
Because we seen this movie before. It's
How
the same
far do
movie.
we? What sequel do you want me to go to? Sequel 1. Let's go to sequel 1. Okay.
Let's go to sequel 1.
Josh McDaniels. In the first 4 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, every NFL team is supposed to know what they are and how they are supposed to be by the fourth game. You have a whole month to figure out your identity as a team. Eric, in week 4 of Josh McDaniels' year, did we know our identity?
Do you want me to answer that for real?
Yeah. Please. Because I know the chat can figure it out, but we need some vocals on this. Please.
Do you want me to be nice? PG-13.
No, I just need your Raider gospel.
Hello to the.
Okay,
I can't even finish it.
Okay.
I can't even finish the sentence, bro.
Sequel 2.
You get my answer. You get my answer.
Sequel 2, okay? Because you know, like there's like House Party, and then there's House Party 2, and then House Party 3, or you know what I'm saying, Friday, and then Friday after next, and then next Friday, and then Friday after next. Okay, so we on next Friday. Okay, so sequel 2, Antonio Pierce. By week 4, did we know our identity, Eric?
How should I word this one? should I be different? Hell to the fucking. I could only laugh, Twuan, but nah, bro.
Okay. So sequel 3, okay? You know what I'm saying? You know, Fast and the Furious, you know how Fast and Furious got like 8 series, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully we don't go to 8 series, but let's go to sequel 3. Okay? Eric, you still there? You still listening? You okay. Anyway, I'll ask somebody in the chat. Okay.
My bad. I back up.
Okay, Eric. Okay. I'm glad you back because we gotta watch this third movie. Okay. We gotta watch this third movie. Okay. Pete Carroll. Okay. Pete Carroll in week 4. Okay. Up to week 4. Does our team have an identity, Eric? Do we know what we're doing out there?
It feels like it's preseason, Twuan. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yo, it's the same shit every season. But I will say one thing, though. I will say one thing about all 3 seasons that they have in common. We fucking suck. That's one thing I'll tell you. We legit fucking suck, bro.
That's why I've seen this movie before.
I can't sugarcoat it. We fucking suck.
We are at week 4 again, and we still don't have our identity. Can somebody maybe somebody in the chat is smarter than me? What is our identity on offense? What is our team's identity? Because when I look at these other good teams, I can clearly you can tell me any good team in the chat, and I can tell you exactly what they doing and what they're gonna do all season until somebody stops it. What are we doing? So we've seen this movie before, and it sucks that we're believing that Pete Carroll can pull all of this together, but he, in reality, and in factualness, he hasn't. So get you know, as much as I love the brown crackers, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to eat the popcorn, and we've been eating a whole lot of popcorn for these years.
I'm a little off topic real quick. I had to look at my phone because Prez right here said, don't look at your phone. I hate you, Prez. And you know why? Something with fantasy. My bad, y'all. It threw me off. It was something with fantasy. He accepted some bullshit ass other trade. Didn't accept mine, though. But it's fine. It's fine, though. I get how we wrong. Anyways.
Shout out to my nephew.
Yeah, shout out to Prez.
Love you, nephew.
But back to this, man. Literally.
Here we are.
Here we are. 1-3. Like all my life, man. All my life, he just been sucking, bro. This is bad. Anyways, but previewing the Colts game. All right, let's go on to the Colts game. Colts are 3-1. Raiders are 1-3. We are coming off a loss. They are coming off a loss. Two heartbreaking losses for both teams. Obviously the Colts lost for majority of reasons, but one of the main reasons was Adonai Mitchell fumbled at the end zone, and that was the most embarrassing fumble I've ever seen in recent time.
Yeah.
So
I just see Kukev's comment. I'm sorry, Kukev.
it's good.
Kukev said it's like It's like a bakery. Twuan, lots of turnovers. Hey, look. You know what I'm saying? We might have to turn Allegiant Stadium into the largest, you know what I'm saying, the largest bakery in the world.
It's like Oprah. It's like you get a car. You get a car. It's like you get an interception. And you get an interception. I wish Geno Smith would have came out like Cam Ward. Y'all see what Cam Ward said in his press conference? He practically said, we suck. He said it. He said, we suck. We can't win games. He legit, and y'all think I'm kidding. I'm going to have to screenshot this one. He legit said, we suck. Yep. And he said they can't win games. I wish Geno Smith would have came out like that. But Geno Smith did take accountability. Which good. I always want people to take accountability. And he said, it's on me. It was on him that game. But obviously, we see right here, Daniel Jones having a heck of a season so far. He's having a career best completion. He had 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, third in the NFL in passing yards. Colton Miller's out, by the way. Just throwing that out there. You know, a little salt on the wound, right? Our starting left tackle's out. Our veteran starting left tackle's out. So, Twuan, before I start rambling about this game fully, what do you feel about this game? That's all I gotta say. What do you feel about this game, man?
1-4. I'll say that, but I'll tell you, I'll be, you know what I'm saying? I'll be a participant today. You know what I'm saying? Twuan will be our participant. Okay.
Oh my God.
One thing that we got to do is stop the run. Taylor is JT himself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about JT for up for review. I'm talking about Taylor for the Indianapolis Colts. All right. He's getting busy for him. You know what I'm saying? So the benefit is when our defense is on, we're actually pretty good at stopping the run.
Yeah.
There's not that many times, you know what I'm saying, outside of the Commanders game where the running backs really got off on us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if we can hold that down, then we just got to worry about Danny Dimes over there or Indiana Jones, whatever, you know, is what they call him now, Indiana Jones. Okay. And that just shows you, and this is a little sidebar, but this ties into Daniel Jones. This is what shows you when a quarterback actually has a good offensive line. Because he didn't have one when he was with the Giants, and everybody thought, oh, Danny Dimes was a, you know what I'm saying, was a lost cause. But he gets behind this line, and now he is doing his thing. So my approach would be stop the run first. Mm-hmm. And then, you know what I'm saying, play top, you know, have the safeties play top down. I don't need all of them down in the box. Let's go ahead and try to do maybe a cover 2 type of defense. You know what I'm saying? Where maybe that linebacker does slide, and then we'll have, you know, then we'll go single high kind of and have him nothing behind you. But I think I still think it might result into a loss. I think something about this Colts team, there's something different about them now since they got Danny Dimes over there and you know, a healthy Jonathan Taylor. We know Jonathan Taylor, you know, at the end of the season, he might be a little banged up or might end up being on IR at the end of the season, but early in the season, he's running the ball well.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want those problems because they will try to run on you all day if they can. So stop the run, and then try to keep everything in front of you, and hopefully, it's not going to. Our defense is not going to be the reason why we will have a chance to win the game. It will be because of our offense, and our offense, running wise. Yeah, try it. Take a look at it. Try to feed Genty, but I see some liabilities on their end in their pass game, and it just depends on if Geno's going to be, Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying, against the Colts. But if you asked me, if you told me I had some money and I had to put it down to try to get some money back, I got to put it on the Colts.
Just some little statistics about the Colts. So obviously, they're third in offense, they're fourth in passing offense, they're eighth in rushing offense, they're fourth in points scored. Their defense is 17th, and their points allowed is 12, which is all better than the Raiders across the board by a mile. Obviously, the Colts have won the last 3 of the 4. And obviously, for this game, for me, I have 3 easy keys, and I think it's the easiest of keys. And if these 3 things happen, we will win the game. Don't turn over the ball. Win the turnover battle. I mean, I'm going to say it like that. Win the turnover battle. Run the goddamn ball. And just play football, bro. I feel like sometimes this team doesn't know how to play football. At times. For weeks now, it's been bad snaps, bad throws, bad count, like just bad everything. So I will say that hopefully the Raiders could get it together, but I'm not giving a prediction for this one. And Twuan obviously gave his. He thinks we're gonna go 1-4, which you can't even hate him for that. I know people are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, you can't hate on it." I mean, look at what we are, 1-3, and it's been bad. So again, the Raiders need to get it together if they even want to save this season. Because right now, it's not looking too good as far as chances, as far as playoffs. But they can still do it, right? Hopefully, SC's boy Pittman doesn't play. Hey, them SC wide receivers, man, you could call USC the wide receiver factory because they cooked last week. Every single one of them. Everywhere from Drake London to Michael Pittman to goddamn Amon-Ra St. Brown. You could keep going down the line. Sorry, I had to. But USC lost 2. I ain't gonna lie. By 2 points, by the way. Both of my teams lost by goddamn less than 3 points. But anyways, before I get into college football, before I get pissed off on that, hopefully the offensive line, and I see right here, until this offensive line continues to improve, they'll be underdogs. Hopefully this offensive line continues what they did last week and continue to build on that. Because I'll at least make it easier.
Was that a comment?
Yeah, because he said until this O-line continues to improve, they'll be underdogs. And yeah, as long I will piggyback on that. The offensive line needs to grab what they did last week and continue building on top of that. At the end of the day, only could get better. And if they could get better, it'll benefit everybody else at the end of the day. And hopefully it will give Geno Smith at least a little bit of boost of confidence, because his confidence level is low. And you could tell by a mile that it's low. Him on the sideline. Every time he throws the interception, he just looks like he's done. He just looks like he's like out of it already. And that's no excuse for no veteran. He should know how to handle it. But hey, I mean, it is what it is.
It definitely will. I think our and SoCal, that's a great comment. In trying to be positive about the situation, right? We know who the Bears are. We know what the Bears, as a team. But if they could just build on, at least I was able to block against them. Hey, let's see what we can do against these Colts and bring out at least some of that. You know what I'm saying? The way that they played, I think again that might open up some things. I think the real key to our offense is that O-line, and until that offensive line gets, turns that key, we're gonna get what we're gonna get offensively.
100%. And on top of that, I think we need to see a little bit more of doing what works. And the run game was working for that game against the Bears. And I'm not saying give the ball 40 times to Genty, but you have other good running backs too that were cooking themselves. And at the end of the day, you brought a guy that just a couple seasons ago, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3 seasons ago, just hit 2,000 yards and 10 plus touchdowns in a single season. In Raheem Mostert, I know he's not what he was, but at the end of the day, he could still be serviceable. Even if you think Genty is a little tired, hey, give the ball. I mean, he didn't look tired. In my opinion, Twuan, he didn't look tired. He still wanted the ball. That boy was cooking. So for me, that goes back to kind of Chip Kelly, and I want to talk a little bit about Chip Kelly. And he did this even before, right? In the games where Geno Smith threw 40 passes, it wasn't working. Give the ball to the running back, and it goes back to Chip Kelly kind of overthinking it. And I hope that at the end of the day, do what works. If the run game is working, give it to the run game. If the pass game is working, do it the pass game. If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Or how does it go? If it ain't broken, don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was.
I think Chip Kelly was in a tough situation, and some people ain't gonna like this. I think Chip Kelly is in a tough situation, even in the last game, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But you also have to keep that defense honest. You know what I'm saying? You can't continue to force to run the ball, because the defense is now going to they're going to put 8 and 9 in the box. You know what I'm saying? And what are you going to do with 8 and 9 in the box? Especially with our offensive line even not being the best of offensive lines. We were in a situation on, what was it, 4th and 1 or something, or 4th and 2, and we couldn't even convert that because our offensive line got pushed back. So Chip Kelly's trying to do his best, especially in the Bears game. I think, and I don't know the statistics on how many runs versus how many passes, but if just looking at the game, it looked like it was fairly balanced. Like we ran a little bit, we passed, we passed some, we
21
ran some.
attempts, 21 attempts on both sides of the ball, 21 carries for Genty and 21 attempts for Geno Smith. And then on top of that, you still have Raheem Mostert with 4 carries. Geno Smith ran it for 4 times. Trey Tucker ran it twice. So 31 carries total for the rushing. And then the passing, he attempted 21 times.
So pretty much fairly balanced. You know what I'm saying? So he kept the game balanced to keep that defense, you know what I'm saying, guessing. If you just go one way, then the defense is going to definitely adjust to that. So I see where Chip is trying to do that, but I also noticed, and I was listening to some people don't like him, but I was listening to Hondo, and he was like, and he kind of picked up kind of something that I noticed, that Chip Kelly was like calling plays to kind of babysit. You know what I'm saying? Like even on some of those pass plays, like he was kind of babysitting Geno, and that ain't helping anybody. You know what I'm saying? Chip should just be able to call anything out the book. You know what I'm saying? He should be like, hey, what am I going to have this defense guessing today? You know what I'm saying? That's how Chip should be calling plays. But if he has to do that and try to babysit Geno, he's in a tough situation. So they got to keep it. They got, as much as I would love to feed JT, because, hey, the way that he was running against the Bears, I would love to see a whole bunch of that. But you got to keep the defense, the opposing, you know what I'm saying, defense honest. In my opinion.
And giving Genty 35 rushes, you're trying to kill him. At that point, you're trying to kill him. I get it. And I did, just to say it too, right? I literally said it. I'm going to double back to what I was saying, right? I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You have other running backs on that thing. You just can't give a guy like Genty 35 carries when he's breaking tackles constantly, because he's going to end up getting injured if you do that. He's a rookie at the end of the day, and he's doing this thing. And obviously the weeks before, we should have gave it more to the run game, and we didn't. But at the end of the day, I don't blame them for not giving it to the run game, because when your offensive line is getting blown up every 2 seconds, it's kind of hard to give it to your running back knowing what's going to happen. So, the last few weeks has been mainly on the offensive line not doing their job. And that's what it was. 35 rushes, what they're talking about, 35 rushes 3 weeks in is not killing any running back right now. You'll be surprised, brother. You, you'll be surprised of that.
35 rushes on a team for a
If you
team.
talk about 35 rushes on the team, that's
Yeah.
good. But you talking about one single player doing 35 rushes, a guy that has to break tackles because a lot of blockers ain't blocking.
Now, if it was Derrick Henry, you know what I'm saying? You got Derrick Henry against that behind that Baltimore Ravens line. Okay, you you might be able to get away with rushing it 30 times, but when you have a O line that is hitting allowing the running back to get hit in the backfield, and he has to work magic to get to the line of scrimmage, that's a lot on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That we're so accustomed to seeing Josh Jacobs, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the year, at the end of his, well, not at the end of his career, but at the end of the career of him with the Raiders, you know what I'm saying, doing what he was doing. But that was progressions. That was after, you know what I'm saying, him being a rookie and him learning how to really block, you know what I'm saying, and get the running back game together. You know what I'm saying? That we saw that out of him. But to put that on Genty now, no. Even though he had those many snaps in college, I still wouldn't. No.
Mm-mm. So obviously, going to the Colts game, back to the Colts game. You obviously said 1-4. For me, I'm not giving a prediction, but I will say that if you want any chance of saving the season, you do it now. You can't wait till the bye week or whatever. We go see what happens, I guess. Hopefully they get it together. There's a lot of complications with this team. But as far as individual games, as far as the Bears game, I put it a lot on Gino. His vision wasn't the greatest, and the offensive line was blocking for him. And even then, I can't fully blame Chip Kelly for it. Because he's drawing up plays, and at the end of the day, you as a quarterback got to be able to recognize the play, recognize who's open. And clearly, Jacoby Myers was not open. Clearly. And just imagine if, let's just say the turnovers never happened, we would have won the game. So we'll see what happens. And, it is what it is. And there's a lot of things that need to happen for us to win against the Colts, starting with the quarterback and the offense, and then following the defense, which even the defense, I don't have too much criticism, Twuan. I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't have too much criticism on the defense side of the ball. So you have any other comments as far as the Colts game, man? For me, it's just get your shit together. If I were to put it in one sentence.
We still haven't seen this. We still really, honestly, even up to week 4, we still haven't seen this team.
Yeah.
We really haven't. You know what I'm saying? We kind of know what our defense is going to do and what they're about, but this offense, we don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Carroll was talking about, we're gonna run the ball. We're gonna be a running team. How have we been doing that really? No. So we haven't really seen the fullness of this offense, and they have to figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to put it together, and just do, like I said, just do the basics. Can we block? Can we catch the ball? Because Thornton, he should have caught both of those passes, in my opinion.
One of those he dropped. Tremendously.
You 6'5", you should be able to box somebody out.
He said, sorry, this caught me off guard. He said Eric is like Beck hasn't been seen. Yeah, Jack Beck has hardly been out there. But as far as
I think he's the better wide receiver. I'm sorry. I think he's the better wide receiver between him and Thornton.
I think coming out of college, yeah. I'll agree there. I want to see a little bit more of him. And as far as the Colts, like I said, this is gonna be my final thing I have to say about the Colts. If you could beat the Colts, it'll be a good confidence boost. Because at the end there's a 3-1 team. At the end of the day, you beat a 3-1 team, your confidence should be going up. And I just don't have full confidence in this team winning right now, just because I haven't seen it from them. Even the Patriots game was a little shaky, but that's obviously like the first week jitters. I thought it was the first week jitters, but then the second, third, fourth week happened, and you see the same movie, right? Bring out the popcorn, right? Yeah. So there it is, the popcorn. So at the end of the day, I'm always gonna, it's our team. We rock with the Raiders no matter what. We've been rocking with them since we were born, right? And for me, hopefully they could get the win. I could always say this, but at the end of the day, I don't have that much confidence in it. And it's not me hating; it's just the reality of things. We're 1-3, y'all. We're 1-3, and damn, man, I can't even say no more. But man, on that note, right?
And you know the crazy thing is just look at where our division is.
Don't even get me started on that, bro. Before I
Like,
start,
we're 1-3, and be honest with you, we're still kind of in it still. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not that far off. And just imagine if we did beat the Chargers, or if we did beat the, I'll take the Commanders' loss. I'll take that one. But if we beat the Chargers and we beat the Bears, think about where we'd be sitting. So, those are going to be, again, we're talking about the frustrations now, but when we get to week 17,
we have
16, it's going to be a situation where it's like, dang, we really should have beat that game.
There's 16 teams in the AFC. 16, y'all. 16 teams in the AFC. And guess how many of those teams have more than 2 wins? 5 of them. Dang. Five out of the 16 teams have more than 2 wins. Yeah. And out of those 16 teams, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them have 2. So yeah, but even then, I'm not gonna even say anything about the playoff picture, bro, because we're 1-3 at the end of the day. It's probably like it's a small percentage of making the playoffs at 1-3, and at the end of the day, we can't seem to get it together. So obviously, hopefully they win. As a Raider fan, I'm always gonna support them. But yeah, 2-3 does feel a lot better than 1-4. So hopefully we could get the win. If there's one game, I mean, I can't even say one game. I said this fucking last week. I can't even say nothing. At this point, I'm just not saying nothing. I'm gonna just let them play. Because I was gonna say, if there's one game you gotta win this one. But I said the same thing last week, and that didn't end up good. So I ain't even gonna say that. I
don't even think this is a game that you can say that with. I think the Colts is actually that good of a team.
They're a good team.
I think they're up in the caliber of the Chargers and up in the caliber of, you know what I'm saying, of the Commanders. And we already know what happened when we went to get them, you know what I'm saying, and their backup. Because remember, we played a backup
team in the AFC. Like, you feel me? That's just the bottom line. And they beat. I mean, they beat the Broncos, which the Broncos, at the end of the day, I mean, they were looking good in the first few weeks, and they beat them when they were hot in the first 2 weeks. And then they lost to the Rams, and the only reason they lost to the Rams is because of that Donnie Mitchell drop pass at the end zone, right before the end zone, which that should have been a touchdown, but he dropped it right before the end zone. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's all over everywhere, y'all. Y'all should go see it, because it's not like somebody popped it open. He was running with the ball, and he dropped it because he got excited right before the end zone. So that's that. And they smashed the Titans, which the Titans are 0-4. I mean, that's another team. That's another thing for another day, right? But Twuan, man, hopefully we come back next week with at least a smile, man. At least a good smile, right? For the good reasons. Not because we've seen the same movie again. But like I said, all I said, 2-3 sounds better than 1-4. So we'll see what happens. Twuan, let them know where they can find you. Next show, next thing you're working on, let them know, man.
Hey, I'll leave you guys with a good note. You know what I'm saying? I'll leave you guys with a really good note. The 2 for 1 Nation podcast is back. All right, that's the best I can give you. All right, we gonna definitely be around. You know what I'm saying? We trying to tighten up the schedule, see what we're gonna do. But we'll be coming at you, so stay tuned for all of that. Raider Twuan, man, get with it. I am 10 away from 500. You know what I'm saying? And I know some of you 10 that are on, you know, my brother's channel, you know what I'm saying, have not came over to subscribe. So please just come on over and subscribe, be a part of that last 10 to get me to that 500. You know what I'm saying? That good old 500. So definitely come on over, subscribe, shorts, videos, okay, and lives gonna be coming at you almost every day of the week. Okay, I think pretty much every day of the week. We got Monday is after the game, that's when I give you player of the week. Tuesday I normally give you a live or a short. Wednesday is what you do on Wednesday, and then you know, or either Tuesday or Thursday, we do a 2 for 1 Nation podcast. So either Tuesday or Thursday, and then Friday, you know what I'm saying, get ready for a short, you know what I'm saying, throughout the weekend. Depends if I do another show with somebody else. So I'm coming at you guys almost every day with some type of content, something you can talk about, something you can answer, because I'm always asking you guys your Raider gospel. I always want to hear your comments, and I'm always responding to your comments. So subscribe, Raider Twuan.
As far as me, man, I'm unpredictable, man. Just like the Raiders are unpredictable. Actually, you could predict the Raiders kind of now. Usually, most likely, the shows will be on Thursday for the 2 for 1. Most likely, most of the time, just letting everybody know ahead of time before I say something like Tuesday, and then I don't show up again Tuesday. But at the end of the day, Raiders play on Sunday. Colts, Raiders. Let's see what happens. And at the end of the day, we've seen this same movie again, and hopefully the movie changes. But if the movie doesn't change, hey, we've seen it again, and just bring out your popcorn, just like Twuan has his popcorn on ready. So shout out to everybody, man. You already know where to find me. The SC Raiders Talk, man. I'm gonna start dropping some shorts. I need to get back into editing some videos, some sick videos, some sick shorts edits of some of these players and just in general. And hopefully I could start dropping some videos. You know, me just talking about a game for like 4 to 5 minutes and just dropping it. You know, that'll be something that I could do more better than a live, right? But for sure, you'll see us for sure, most likely next Thursday, as far as the 2 for 1. So I'm letting that know to everybody. But besides that, blessings to you guys and your families, man. Tough time never lasts, but tough people doing. You guys are some tough people, man. Remember, life is too short, so always tell your loved one you love them, man. And like always, man.
As Charles Woodson would say, Raiders. Yeah. As Charles Woodson would say.
You know what it is, man. I'm going to see y'all, man. Of course, until next time, y'all. 2 for 1 Nation podcast, man. We are out. Peace out.
Yee!
Think being broke was better. Now I don't mean that phrase with no disrespect to all my niggas out there living in debt. Cash and minimal checks. Turn on the TV, see a nigga Rolex, and fantasize about a life with no stress. I mean this shit sincerely. And as a nigga who was once in your shoes, living with nothing to lose, I hope one day you hear me. Always gonna be a bigger house somewhere, but nigga feel me. Long as the people in that motherfucker love you dearly. Always gonna be a whip that's better than the one you got. Always gonna be some clothes that's fresher than the ones you rock. Always gonna be a bitch that's better out there on the tour. But you ain't never gonna be happy till you love yours. Such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. Such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. Such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. Such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. Such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours.